It's one thing for Nike to step back from this young man, Mason Greenwood, first and early. It's another, and for EA Gaming to say, okay, we don't stand with this guy because he has now been arrested for allegations that seem to have a great deal of evidence in terms of rape by knife point and beating of his girlfriend. But what happens when, and this is a societal question, what will Nike do if and when justice as well as society admits that complicit and accomplices in the crime that is alleged against Mason Greenwood include teammates that heard him boast about how he treats his girlfriend, or managers that covered up the last time she complained, or in the case of, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo, staff at that Las Vegas hotel, and captains or coaches of the team, or management that had to discuss having to cover it up. Or in the case of Harvey Weinstein, the allegations that Ben Affleck, for example, would say to people like Gwyneth Paltrow, as Gwyneth Paltrow has admitted, when she had sort of said, Harvey made a move, I told him not to do that. Or he's not supposed to do that with you. So when we actually take the full range of aiding and abetting, for example, the way you guys are so keen to do when it comes to state capture, when it comes to sexual assault, it is a huge ecosystem that it requires to cover these things up and to protect the reputations. Again, the 4 executives from the MEC of Community Safety's office that had to be suspended. The members of the DA leadership that knew about this and kept quiet. The members of the ANC that knew about the abuse that was meted out by Manana, former MP Manana, against his housekeeper, against people who happen to call him gay. When we take the full rap sheet and the full complicity into account, is it as easy, or what will, I know it's not as easy. My question is, what will corporations like Nike, political parties like the DA, the ANC, governments like at National, governments at the Western Cape, corporations like Miramax, Manchester United, what do you do when you look at your entire bench and they're all a part of it? Because that's actually the situation that is facing women and men who are subject to sexual abuse, harassment, rape, or these inappropriate approaches, for example, in the workplace that we've been discussing. What happens when we have to hold everybody accountable? Everybody that makes a joke. Rape culture is so pervasive. It is not just the person who, and in gender-based violence, it's not just the person who slants. It's not just the person who hits. It's the person who made it okay for that person to think that they hit. And sometimes even boast about it. We talk about consent and how men don't understand consent and, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to be able to ask a woman on a date now. Let me tell you something. There's a very interesting saying and I really love it. Cis-het men understand the notion of consent the second a gay man hits at them. Suddenly you know consent. The other saying that I think is very important is the idea that men lose control in particular situations. And it's not even a saying, it's just a statement that I saw somewhere on social media, so I apologize. I don't remember the source, and so I don't have one today. But it went along the lines of men are completely in control even when they get violent. And you know that because they never take aim with their frustration or anger at a person bigger than them. If I lost control, I'd be beating up everybody. The Rock, Arnold Schwarzenegger, But they know where to aim their anger. And it's always at a more vulnerable person, and it is generally that is a woman. And I think that we need to take some cognizance of the complicity of all of us, of looking the other way, keeping silent. It's not my business. It's a family affair. Speak up. I feel very strongly about that.
Breakfast with Refilwe Moloto
on Cape Talk.